Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to take a look at some more official reveals from Journey Together. Some pretty big official reveals, which are going to end up being very important. And let's start off with a card that isn't very good, but a reveal of which may well be very important. I am, of course, talking about Alcremie EX. Now, Alcremie EX was one of those cards from the Generations decks over in Japan. So over in Japan, they made these Generations decks, 9 of them, one for each generation, hence the name. And each of those held 2 brand new, mechanically unique EXs. So obviously, you use your Pokemon knowledge here. You have a look and you go, Alcremie. All right. I know Alcremie. I know where we're going here. We're talking Generation 8. This is one of the Generation 8 EXs, along with Zacian. And this is where things get kind of interesting, because these Generations EXs have been kind of showing up a little bit of everywhere. 3 of them, including Dialga, have gone and been revealed to be in the Azure Legends tins, which are coming out in the not-too-distant future. We had a bunch of them that actually made their way into Prismatic Evolutions. Some of them actually ended up there in that set, which has already been released. So, as a random example, we got ourselves the Tyranitar from that really good... If you've not seen the Japanese Generations advert with Bangiras, please go check it out. It's amazing. Snorlax, another one that popped up in there. Well, it seems like we're getting more of them coming around in Journey Together because, whoa, Alcremie is one of them. Now, I'm not saying that we are going to almost finish off here, but that's my expectation for Journey Together. I expect a couple are still going to end up being saved to be used as promos down the line, but I do think the majority of them are going to end up popping up in here. The majority, I mean, are the ones we haven't seen either be released or be allocated elsewhere. I believe if you looked at the set, there's a couple that kind of can't be in there, from what we already know. But I do believe we're going to be getting a bunch more of them. Obviously, for me, the big question is Blaziken, because Blaziken is legit. Like, when I showed you these first time round, I told you that Blaziken was far and away the best of them. And we've since seen Blaziken winning City Leagues, your kind of medium-sized tournaments over in Japan. They're not huge, but still, but some of them have been won by Mamoswine with Blaziken. So the reality is, the Blaziken is one we actually need. I'm not saying that Blaziken is going to be in Journey Together. I can't confirm Blaziken is going to be in Journey Together. I don't know. Obviously, when it's revealed, I will absolutely show you, because that's pretty important. But I absolutely can tell you that I think the chances of it are much higher. Plus, we've not seen anything to suggest, unless I've missed something, in which case, as always, let me know in the comment section. I've not seen anything to suggest that Blaziken is being made available elsewhere. Blaziken's got an ability that accelerates an energy from your discard pile once during your turn, but it's also a stage 2, and it's got a nice little attack for one coloured, one colourless energy. It basically just fits perfectly in a Mamoswine deck. But we're not talking about Blaziken here. We are talking about Alcremie. Is Alcremie any good? Well, we got a nice little ability. Once during your turn, you can heal 30 from one of your Pokemon. Bearing in mind it is a stage 1, so it's not that difficult to get out. And then we got an attack for free energy that does 160 damage. If I may be so bold as to say so, no. Now, I think in a pre-release, and bearing in mind, obviously, Journey Together is a full set, there will be a pre-release. I think you get to a pre-release with this, and you absolutely can use this to do a bunch of healing to your active, or, retreat a Pokemon and heal it every turn with this. I think you could be onto something, but I do believe in the standard format it is going to end up being disappointing is probably the best way I can phrase it. But don't worry, that is not the only card we have seen revealed that we're going to be talking about today. So let's move on and have a little bit of a look at Lycanroc. And with Lycanroc, of course, here we've got the regular Lycanroc. And we've got ourselves the illustration rare. I should say the Alcremie were revealed by xgn.nl, which I believe is a Dutch site. And then the Lycanroc here are revealed by PRZEGladsportowy.onet.pl, which I believe is a Polish site. And obviously, although they have been in the past, given that cards are not currently printed in Dutch or in Polish, that will explain why these websites are giving us English language reveals. Excellent. So, are we excited about Lycanroc? How good could Lycanroc end up being? The answer is, it's not too bad, ladies and gentlemen. It's not too bad. Now, what is really weird, and I do think this is really weird, in what world did they get the reveal of Lycanroc but not Spiky Energy? That's weird, right? I cannot be the only one that thinks that's weird. Because like the whole point of Lycanroc is when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may attach up to 2 Spiky Energy cards from your discard pile to this Pokemon. So the goal essentially is that you never actually evolve your Rockruff until you've got 2 Spiky Energy in the discard, and then, Lycanroc goes down, you lose a Spiky Energy, but that's alright. You then just evolve your bench Rockruff into a Lycanroc, and then you get those 2 Spiky Energy right back, so your Lycanroc's free energy attack there, in reality, ends up looking like a lot more like a single energy attack, because when you evolve up, you get 2 energy on there, and then it's essentially single energy, 40 plus 40 more for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. But it's a fighting type, which means it hits a very good weakness against colorless, against lightning, against darkness. Not all of them, but a decent amount of them. And then you basically got a single energy attack hitting a good weakness. And this is the kind of attack that will basically finish off anything. Like, you don't need much damage on here to do huge damage. Let's say your opponent's got 5 damage counters on. You've used a Dusclops, for instance, and there's 5 damage counters on there. Well, that means you're doing 240 damage. 6 times 4, 5 for each damage counters plus the base. That's 240 damage, plus the 5 already on there is 290 in total. Let's say there's 6 damage counters on there. Then you're doing 280, plus the 6 that's already on there is 340, which you might have noticed is the maximum natural HP that any Pokemon has. So, yeah. This adds up extremely quickly. It's not a great Pokemon to just attack. It's not a great Pokemon to send out fresh against an undamaged Pokemon, but as soon as you've done some damage with anything, then all of a sudden this becomes a far, far, far more enticing prospect. Spiky Energy is the one whereby it's a colorless energy that when you attack the Pokemon has got it attached, you take 2 damage counters. It's Rocky Helmet as an energy. But the thing is, you then, if you're relying on Spiky Energy, you're basically popping Lycanroc in the active, hoping your opponent damages you so they take the damage from Spiky Energy, but you kind of hope they don't KO or else you're just trading. And then you come in and finish with Lycanroc the next one, because you get the Spiky Energy right back. And at that point, it's just awkward, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of that. But I do think, as a Pokemon which just gets its own energy on, and then it's essentially a single energy attack, that can come in and basically finish anything off, oh, I like this Lycanroc, ladies and gentlemen. I like this Lycanroc very much indeed. But maybe you want another Pokemon I can show you with a rather lovely illustration rare. Well, wonderful news, I can. We've got the Articuno, which has actually been revealed, honestly, in a bunch of different places. But here we are using a version from Lavanguardia.com, which I want to say is the Italian version. Let's go for that. There's a chance it's not. But here we've got ourselves a very nice card. We've got the regular, and we've got ourselves the illustration rare. And what we've got is free energy 110, or a single colorless energy. And you get to search your deck for up to 2 basic water energy and attach to this Pokemon. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. This one, incidentally, this is going to be a beast in pre-releases. This is going to be, like, genuinely brilliant in pre-releases, because you start with it, attach any energy, it doesn't matter what type it is, and then you get to search your deck for 2 water energy. You can literally play 2 water energy with this, although I would play 3 in case one ends up prized. And then you start with this, you attach any energy, search out the 2 water energy, and then on your second turn of attacking, you're ready to go, hitting 110, which is a great number in pre-releases. This thing, in pre-releases, I promise you, this thing is going to be an absolute beast in pre-releases. If you pull this card in pre-releases, I don't care what other deck you're making, play this card. Maybe it ends up being a pre-release promo, I don't know, but whether it does or not, if you get this card, play this card with 2 or 3 water energy, I would suggest 3, and it is going to help improve your pre-release. I've told you, I feel very, very strongly about this. We do have ourselves Brock's. Well, I'm not entirely sure what it's called, because we don't have the English version, but Brock's Exploration seems to be the French version here, and that'll work out rather nicely. And we've seen the full art of Exploration de Pierre, so this is kind of a cool card, honestly, and it's Brock, and everybody loves Brock. Like, Brock is not one of the designated trainers from this set, but make no mistake about it, people are going to love this. You search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon or 1 evolution Pokemon and whack them in your hand. People are going to love this as a, hey, it's a full art Brock and it's awesome kind of card. People are not going to love this from a playability standpoint. Just to be clear, I don't think anyone really wants to play with this card. It was revealed by levoirdunord.fr, I should say. But you know what? That's okay. We've got ourselves the full Butterfree line, has been revealed by PokemonMillennium.net, and, I mean, look, it's cool, but realistically, I'm not really loving it. I mean, look, here's the thing. Again, Beast in a pre-release, single energy, flip 4 coins, 60 for each heads. If 2 or more are heads, and on average that should happen, paralysis. Your expectation here is 120 plus paralysis for a single energy. So it's one of these whereby I don't think it's some kind of ridiculous Uber card. In the standard format, I really don't think it's going to end up being particularly good. But there is at least potential here, given that you can do up to 240 damage and most of the time you should get paralysis. And then you build in the fact that at a pre-release, when you might have time to actually evolve up into it, it's going to be even better. And I don't know. I'm not here saying this Butterfree is going to be amazing, but I absolutely am here saying it's going to be very, very interesting. And then finally, Nachambo_YT over on Twitter has gone and revealed the full ends Klinklang line, full trainer line, obviously a huge amount of fun here. Is Klinklang going to be any good? I'm not convinced. It's free energy, flip 3 coins, 120 for each heads, which gives an expectation of 180. Obviously, you'll never actually hit 180. It's 120, 240, or 360. But flipping 3 coins, you've got an expectation of about 180 damage here, which just makes things super awkward because it's free energy on a stage 2. And I know you can copy it with Enzora, but I don't like it much more than either. And I just think this is kind of underwhelming. I want this to be a really cool card. I want to sit here and go, End Klinklang looks amazing. The reality is, I don't think it looks amazing. I actually think it looks kind of underwhelming, and I'm sorry. But I want to know if you agree with me. I want to know what you think about all of these cards. So let me know in the comment section. Get us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Jelena Orengi, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.